Hey, what's up, B? You just reinstalled Daggerfall this morning, and my 50-ish mods. Nice. Yeah, Decorator's really cool. You're able to decorate any player home, which includes player housing or your ship as well, actually. So it's pretty nice. It hasn't been updated in a while, I don't think, but it still has a ton of different options, so I'm just trying to set up my Twitch restream here, and then I could show you how some of the mod works. I'm not sure how taxing this will be on my computer doing a dual stream like this, but I'm trying to also be live on Twitch at the same time. I know some people prefer watching live streams on that, but yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from my end if it's looking all right at the moment. Also, definitely let me know if my microphone sounds okay. Hey, thanks. Did you just recently get into Daggerfall, or did you play back when it first released? Yeah, I think the Twitch stream looks okay for now. And I could pop out both chats side by side here. It would be cool if I could find a way to get both chats on the actual stream itself. So if some of you guys are just in YouTube, you can still see what the Twitch chatters are saying. I don't have much of a following on Twitch anyway, though, but Mike sounds good? Good. You're only 30, but I played it when I was a teenager. Nice, yeah. I was a bit too young, also, during Daggerfall's original release. And I didn't actually play it when I was younger. I actually only played Daggerfall for the first time maybe 2 years ago now? Maybe 2.5 years ago? We might also do some roguelike mode runs at some point. PS2 Ghost in the Shell game? Yes, I have actually. Yeah, I own that physically. PS2 is probably the console I've played most in my life, so I have a decent amount of games still. But yeah, I thought the Ghost in the Shell PS2 game was pretty cool. I like how they got a lot of the voice actors from the standalone complex show. So it's pretty nice. I thought the combat was pretty fun too. Yeah, the Ghost in the Shell games are pretty good in general. Oh, nice. Yeah, Daggerfall is not like many other games out there. It is hard to find RPGs that feel like this game. Especially how the world feels, the traveling. And I also like how Daggerfall has a fast time to kill when it comes to dealing with enemies. A lot of other RPGs I play, I feel like tons of enemies are just bullet sponges or super tanky, huge health pools. But I like how in Daggerfall, sometimes you stab an enemy once, and as long as you connect, that can sometimes be enough to kill it. 1 to 5 strikes usually. Yeah, I was originally thinking about covering the PS2 Ghost in the Shell game on my channel, but I don't know. I think most of my subscribers, they're kind of just here for Daggerfall. I still do like to cover other games sometimes, but yeah, not too often. Because I recently got into the PS1 Ghost in the Shell game, I was considering revisiting the PS2 one, which I have it somewhere. I know there's also a PSP game, but yeah, I haven't played that one. Alright, I think this is the best I'm gonna do with getting the Twitch set up here. Maybe if someone joins it, they can let me know if it's working alright. But I think we'll just get started in a bit here. Have you tried the 640 by 400 mode in the effects settings? It would look nicer in my opinion. Is that in Unity settings or like a stream setting or something? Yeah, honestly, I really haven't fooled around with the Unity settings too much like that. I probably should. I don't know if I've ever even really gone into these and looked at them too much. In the retro mode? Oh, okay. I wonder if I change the ratio like that right now, if it might mess up the stream. But yeah, I will try that. I'll make a note of that. The decorator mod, though, is really cool. You have a bunch of different decorations here that you can place anywhere. You can turn some of them into containers or crafting places also. Yeah, I haven't tried retro mode either. I really should though, because I don't actually use too many visual mods for Daggerfall. I like this original aesthetic, so maybe for my setup, retro mode could be nice actually. I'll have to try it. You'd play this if they made all NPCs 3D? I think, I don't know. I haven't really tried a lot of the visual overhaul mods, but I think there are some that maybe does that. Yeah, I'm actually not sure off the top of my head. There are a few different visual overhaul mods for Daggerfall, though. But yeah, I know some people don't like the sort of sprite-based style. 2D, kind of like paper flats or whatever they call them for NPCs. Alright, let me start with some common containers here. It's been a little while since I've played around with this mod. But yeah, it's really cool. You can mark this right here and turn any item you want into a container or potion crafting, spell crafting. So when you get like a wardrobe like this or whatever else, you want to mark it as a container, you just press that, press the middle button, and then it snaps into wherever. And then if I click on it, it's a container here, which is really cool. I could put some potions in there or whatever else. I don't need all these lanterns on me. Yeah, that's a really sick mod. And there's just so many different options here. You could also make them light sources. So if I took this torch here, or let's do something else actually, like a chandelier, and I could place that high, snap it, let's say in the middle of the room here maybe. Turn into a light source just like this. And then you can even control the intensity. Rotate it, but I think this flat doesn't really have anything to rotate, but and yeah, it'll snap to the ceiling like that. This is kind of a weird player house I got here. It was already somewhat decorated. Like it came with this table, came with these benches, and the fireplace. And actually a functioning wardrobe, which is kind of cool. And it has this little outdoor section thing here, which is kind of nice. But yeah, there's so much of it's already furnished, which is kind of a shame. I didn't realize just how many player houses in Daggerfall have like these little bits of furnishing, which is kind of unfortunate. Like this room just has a fireplace in it. And yeah, this house has like multiple exits for some reason too. But at least this room is kind of spacious enough to do something with. And this one too actually only has a desk and a chair in it, so. If you guys want to see some roguelike gameplay, we could do that a little bit later too. I could hang some decorative swords here. Yeah, you can also take any item on this mod and then just change the scale, which is pretty cool. There's also a way to edit these. I forgot how to do this now. Oh yeah, okay. Kind of want to make this smaller if I can. Yeah. Yeah, I think this costed 700,000. Something like that, 750,000. But this is my thief character. So she got a lot of that gold through thievery. Yeah, these statues are super cool too. You sometimes see these around in different towns with the Beautiful Cities of Daggerfall mod. Hey, love your videos. I was wondering if you tried that game Devilspire Falls. Looks like a great start to a Dagger-like. I feel like the name is familiar. I haven't played it though. Is that a roguelike game? I feel like I recognize the name. For some reason the paintings don't work for me on this mod. I wonder if that's something with my expanded textures mod being messed up or something. Alright, let me put some tables and chairs here. Make the scale a little bigger. All right, let's see how that looks. Completely uneven. It randomly generates the world and dungeons, but you can save freely. Interesting. Is it a first-person kind of dungeon crawler then? It is kind of cool that when you buy these houses in Daggerfall, they already come with some furnishing like this. But with the decorator mod, we kind of don't want furnishing. So, yeah. With no mod, it's kind of cool, though. You actually would have some storage here. And this wardrobe functions how you'd expect. Yeah, first person? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. Devil Spire Falls. It is familiar, though. It sounds familiar. I also really like the hanging plants. I forgot where that is, though. Maybe under bio, maybe? Hey, what's up, Baba? Oh yeah, here's some hanging ones. That's pretty cool too. Snap that to the ceiling. We can make it a little bit bigger. And yeah, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, the hanging plants are nice. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thanks. Let's try to click on this apple here. It's too tiny for me. We'll have a floating apple for now. You even have animals that you can place in your house, which is really cool. Could have a cat in the corner hanging out. The airships, yeah. I guess they can't be, right? Because they don't have like a actual cell that you load into. I could be wrong. I haven't used the airships mod in a really long time, though. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, at least we can do it with the actual player ships, which is pretty nice. Let's check out these banners. I wonder if there'll ever be any new stuff added to Decorator mod. It has so much that I don't think it's completely necessary, but it would be cool, of course. Oh yeah, these tapestries are huge too. haven't used airships in a really, really long time. I like games that give you a player home that doubles as a vehicle, kind of like the Cyclops sub from Subnautica. Yeah, that sounds cool. I haven't actually played Subnautica. I know it's really, really well loved, but yeah, I never played that before. I have no idea what I want to do with this room. Decorating my player ship was actually way easier because it actually started out as a completely empty room. Park somewhere random and take it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's especially cool in games like Daggerfall too, right? Even in this town here, this is the player home I have now, but before, which was pretty cool. Let me just show you guys. I had a different home that was, and I didn't even know this could happen, but even the houses on the outside of the wall can actually show up as for sale in the bank, which was really nice. It wasn't this town, I don't think, though. No, it was a different one. But there was a really sick outside of the wall building that was like over a hill that I had. But yeah, having a nice location that you could actually park in when it comes to like a vehicle is sick. Maybe we'll do a little roguelike here in a bit. There's one mansion in Wayrest I've been saving gold for. Nice. Yeah, I can't believe the prices of housing in Daggerfall. It's crazy. I feel like in a lot of my playthroughs, it's kind of rare for me to even have like 75,000 gold, and some of them cost like, I've seen some cost over 800,000. I see the amazing things modders are doing with Daggerfall, and I wonder if there'll ever be a mod that turns the game into something like Mount Blade, so I can recruit NPCs into my squad, lead them to capture villages and towns, and fight with large squads in the wilderness. Yeah, right now, yeah, I don't know if there's any like full conversion mod that would really capture Mount Blade right now, but there are a couple mods you can use to slightly capture that vibe. Of course, one of them being language skills overhaul. I don't think I have that as an option here to show you, no. But language skills overhaul would let you recruit some companions that would actually travel around the world with you. And Lives of Raiders, I think it's called, can give you some larger scale battles. Art imitates life, yeah. I do see a mod to make player-built homes in the wilderness possible. Yeah, I think I've seen that one too. There's also another one that lets you turn any home and flag it as a player home, I think. Though I've heard it has some issues sometimes, but yeah, that would let you just take any house you want in any location. Do the cities ever get pillaged by orcs or whomever? They can with mods, but not in the vanilla experience, no. There's a really great mod, the one I was just mentioning, Lives of Raiders. And that'll cause farms to be pillaged. And farms, farmsteads, so any of these towns that are... It'll load in a sec, yeah. like the darker orange ones here, or darker brown, I should say. You'll sometimes see something farmstead, something farm. And those with lives of raiders can be pillaged. I probably could force it to spawn actually and show you guys. It's really cool. It's really fun too. If I just write like farm in here, if any come up, yeah, see a bunch of farms will come up here and I can just fast travel to one of them and maybe show you guys. But yeah, these are really cool. You'll sometimes get orc attacks, you'll sometimes get raiders, you'll sometimes get giants that can come. And then you can choose which side to fight on, and then it's like a large-scale battle, which is cool. Yeah, see, so triggered here, it'll usually trigger if it's the first time you've been to a farm in a long time. In the distance, you see smoke. Looks like a campfire. Bandits have the place surrounded. So if I choose to join the battle here, we'll get a huge, large-scale battle. And you can choose which side. You can join the bandits or join law enforcement. Let's join the bandits. We're on our thief character here. Then you get a little RP stuff here. You greet the bandits. After quick talk, they accept you among their ranks for this assault. The horn soon sounds, and the raid of old Kristara's farm begins. And then they'll start spawning in, and you get like reinforcements and other stuff. But yeah, this mod is really awesome because let me get a light source on here. I like that it's not just a bunch of enemies against you, but two actual factions going at it here. And I've had some of these spawn on like the coast with my ship right there. I mean, it's really sick sometimes. And you won't be able to pacify these enemies, of course, since you're fighting a battle like this. But yeah, the visual spectacle here is really sick. And they'll call for reinforcements. There'll be different types of NPCs that can come. There is a ton of different, like, loot you can get here, of course. So if you come here kind of early in your playthrough, you'll really accelerate your playthrough. So, which can be fun, which could be what you want to do. But yeah, it's really cool. Some mounted enemies will show up too. And this can also happen with orcs. How did I catch this on my lunch? Your videos are awesome. Thanks. Welcome, Green Man. I used the Necromancy mod and combined with Pillage's Pure Chaos. Yeah, that sounds sick. Go for the knees. Yeah. The classic. But yeah, it runs really well. I never get lag with this mod. The warriors have called for reinforcements, and then once they deplete too much, they'll call for reinforcements like that. And I would expect this to be like extremely laggy, right? But yeah, it runs really well. And if you're on the winning side, you also get some monetary reward. The bandits have called for reinforcements. Yeah, then the mounted guys start coming. I don't think this thief character is particularly strong, but that's okay. If I win this, yeah, I think we actually had this, and I'm not even doing anything. Just hanging out and watching. Like a proper thief. Hiding from battle and then looting when everyone else has done the work. Rogue reinforcements depleted. I can't even tell which one here is thief or bandit and which one's the law. As the battle raged on and proved too much for your allies, you soon grown to be outnumbered. Soon it's only you who still stands. To stay and fight now is a death wish. Yeah. We lost that one. That's alright. Shpan can help me out. I've finished the main story. I'm now just exploring the world, but I don't know where to find the challenging dungeons. Yeah, so the thing about Daggerfall is dungeons won't just be marked on your map for you, unfortunately. There's a couple ways you can get them to show up. One of them is to find map items. So sometimes, kind of similar to how this letter looks, you'll just find a map location. And if you find that, it's usually for the same region that you're in. It might always be for the same region that you're in, actually. But yeah, once you click on it, you'll know the location, and then on the world map, you'll just look for an orange dot, and that'll be the... Or you could even just type it in. Other than that, the other way to find dungeons is to take quests. So anytime a quest needs you to go somewhere for a dungeon, then you'll have it unlocked on the world map. And you can do that at usually... Oh, we're going to die here. Usually factions are a good place to get quests like that. But yeah, you can also just take random quests from people in towns. I got a Daedric sword and boots from the last story dungeon, but now I don't know where to find the whole sets. Oh yeah, as you get a higher level, higher and better materials more likely to drop. So you can just kind of farm for Daedric armor in any kind of dungeon that's high level. But yeah, like you were saying, you need to find those high level dungeons first. And I'd recommend like faction. Oh, we're still getting followed here, man. Something like a Mage's Guild or Fighter's Guild. First live stream from you I've seen. Neat. Hey, what's up, Fox Guy? Thanks for joining. We're chilling, doing some farm battles. I was going to do some player home decorating, but yeah, maybe another time. Kind of feeling like exploring. Yeah, Antimatsu, I don't know if you've joined any other guilds or something, but that could be a good place to start. Let's see if we can rest. We got a will-o-wisp on us. These are super hard for me to hit, usually, with my melee builds. Is there a cooking mod? Yes, there is a cooking mod. There's a mod called Climates and Calories. It's a lot of things in one, though. It's not just cooking. It's like a survival mod that adds hunger, thirst, temperature. So if I was in like the rain like this and it was cold, I would need to wear like cloaks or something else to cover my body for protection. But yeah, with that mod, you can set up a camp, set up a campfire. You need the materials to start a fire, and then you can cook any kind of raw meat that you found from enemies. Someone recently made a Morrowind mod that creates the full Morrowind scaled version of Tamriel. It basically looks like a game, but nothing else. That's interesting. Wow. Yeah, that could be interesting to me, actually, something like that. I really do want to give Morrowind a longer try this year. Basically, every Nightly Order quest is a dungeon crawl. Yeah, right. Yeah, nightly orders are probably a good bet, actually. Yeah, look how beautiful this is. I love these World of Daggerfall project points of interest where these bandits take over sort of these abandoned areas. I think World of Daggerfall project, it walks that line so carefully and so well with adding these points of interest, but not making Daggerfall too filled with that stuff, so it still feels pretty open. Oh, nice. I brought the will-o-wisp to these guys. They can have fun trying to kill this thing. Maybe we'll try to get some backstabs while they're distracted. Oh, they got it already. Hey, we got one pacification. That's good. Yeah, someone was mentioning earlier about companions, and I think Language Skills Overhaul is the best bet right now for having that feeling of, you know, adventuring with someone or something. Because you could also pacify undead or animals, all that kind of stuff. Man, look at this purple sky in this sunset right now. I love this aesthetic. I'd already reached the maximum level in Knights of the Dragon. Then I tried to join the Fighters Guild, but every other quest there had a bug. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like Daggerfall Unity is so clean on not having bugs that when I have bugs, it's almost always due to a mod issue. So it might be some mod you have that could be causing some problem. Cool thing about these points of interest is they usually have a couple loot piles around as well. You ever use the alchemy system? Oh yeah, for sure. It's really good if you aren't using any sort of mod that lets you purchase potions. Potions are so valuable, especially if you're not using a magic-based build. And you usually can't buy them directly. So you gotta kind of use the alchemy system that way, but I'm trying to think of which mod I use now that lets me do that. I think it's called, I might have it in my list on this here. I can't think of the name right now. I don't think it's, oh, it actually might be role-playing realism items. So there's a couple different role-playing realism mods. I think it's the one that's called role-playing realism items. And I think that one allows you just to buy potions directly from alchemy shops. And I use that on most playthroughs, so I haven't really needed to use the alchemy system too much yet. But if you don't use a mod that lets you do that, the alchemy system is really, really good. At the Fighters Guild, they're always sending me out to find a tiger. I find it every time, tame it with a bell, bring it to the NPC and the owner, but they just ignore me. Huh. Yeah, the Fighters Guild, I know of the ones that make you clear out houses, but ones that make you tame it. Do you have any quest mods? I think there's like a mod called Random Little Quests or something like that. Let's rest here for a little bit. This game is fantastic as a mobile game on Android. With the right mods, it's a good pick up and play on the go game. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love how the Android support has really been really nicely developed right now. I feel like so many mods these days just come out with a Android version as well. This werewolf might have us. Nice. You have to hit the tiger too. Non-lethally hit the quest NPC tiger. Oh, interesting. I don't even remember doing a quest like that. I didn't install any mods for the quests. I installed the mods based on your guides. They're really helpful. Thanks. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I had any quest mods in that mod list I did for 2026. Even though I did have some in my actual list, I just feel like they're so kind of dependent on taste. And usually when I do some sort of quest pack mod, it's just for like one specific playthrough. So I did like the journalism quest mod, which I thought was really nice, but I only did it for like one playthrough. The entire playthrough was centered around that quest pack. which was pretty fun, I gotta say. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really creative. Hey, we just got saved by the falling down mod. I think that was Karademono that made that mod. It's really, really nice. If you're a fan of using travel options, definitely pick up the falling down mod. Anytime you clip through the ground, it'll just place you right back up. All right, let's do a... Actually, maybe I'll change the stream title real quick. We'll go back to the roguelike mode. And any class you guys want to see, you can let me know. I haven't played a bard in this mode yet. I kind of want to try that. Also, I think... Oh, I forgot to respond to Jet. He sent me a message on Reddit the other day that he... I think he updated one of the mods to use his Abyss dungeons. I might have to update this to do that, though. Yes, I took the tiger to the NPC at the guild master who gave me the quest for the tiger, and I also tried talking to the NPC client who was looking for that tiger. Both of them are ignoring. Yeah, the only bug I've had in a quest before was... And this easily could have been related to a mod I had, maybe, but one of the Fighters Guild quests has you go to one of the town's buildings and clear out the rat infestation. And, yeah, they weren't spawning, I think, but... I think that was the only bug in Unity I've ever seen, and that easily could have been related to a mod, because I have a lot of mods that change towns. Let's try level 8 or level 9 bard, actually. I thought there was a way for me to choose the Abyss dungeons that Jet did for his mod, but I think I'll need to update this or something. I know that issue is because of distance, I think. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it was... I think I was in one of those small houses. The ones that are just a single square. It might have actually been a shop, even. Using console commands to get some distance can start the spawn, since they can't spawn right on top of you. Interesting, yeah. That's actually good to know, because I do want to revisit the Fighters Guild at some point. I never went through the whole promotions on them. Let's do Dungeons of Daggerfall and see what we get. These tend to be pretty difficult, though. Yeah, this is a random stream today, but I think in the future we'll mostly be doing streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Probably... Oh, I started underwater. Oh, no. Wait, did we get an Argonian? We did not. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, this is a bard, so I should be able to wear that. Well, that's pretty funny, actually, spawning on underwater like this. And the door's locked. That's crazy. Oh, this might have been one of Dungeons of Daggerfall, the Pirate Coves. Oh, this would have been a cool one, too, if I didn't spawn underwater. Oh, man. Quality run right there. All right, let's do Bard again. We'll go back to Dungeons of Daggerfall. There's a lot of dungeons I haven't seen in this yet. Daggerfall decided, no, not this one. Yeah, not this time. I think for Dungeons of Daggerfall, I've only really spent a lot of time checking out the Dwemer dungeons because I just thought that was such awesome work by SquidKamer. But I know he did a lot of cool pirate coves also, and I was hoping in my pirate playthrough that I would run into them, but I had trouble finding them actually in the open world. He even built them on these big islands. I could actually show you guys if I load up a save here. Probably I could find it somewhere. Yeah, I also saved this cool town. Look at this cool layout this town had. I haven't spent too much time in these like jungle-y regions or swamp regions, but I thought this one looked really nice. Especially for like a non-walled, smaller city like this. But yeah, if I swim out, this might get really laggy swimming out really fast with Ocean Depths mod, but we could try it for a little bit, see if I can find one of these. But yeah, with the Dungeon of Daggerfall mod, these big sort of Pirate Cove dungeons and underwater themed dungeons are out there. Oh, I might have crashed the game doing this. Yeah, I've got the Iliac Puddle No More mod. So, yeah. Let me reset this. We could probably get one with the roguelike mode anyway. The Fighters Guild, like a lot of Daggerfall factions, has very strange balancing when it comes to which rank unlocks which quest. For some reason, the quest to hunt down a Lich is rank 3, while the highest ranked quest, the only rank 6 quest, is to hunt an Atronach. Yeah, I could see a Lich at rank 3. I wonder what level people would normally be at for rank 3. Probably like between level 5 and 8 or so, you think? Maybe even lower? And that would not be fun to fight a Lich at that level. Alright, let me try the Bard again. And let's do Dungeons of Daggerfall. $39 high skill and 13 low skill. Oh, wow. That's pretty easy then. Whoa, this is a sick looking dungeon. I really like these cave-like interior dungeons. Alright, what does the Bard have again? Streetwise, Etiquette, and Pickpocket. Interesting. Stealth, Shortblade, Hand-to-Hand. And some magic in the Minor. So what do we start with? Oh, we start with Wizard's Fire, which means our Destruction is actually our highest. That's a pretty good spell to start with, but we don't have too much int. Forbidden from, Tower Shield, Plate, and Increased Magery. That's actually not too bad on advantages and disadvantages for the Bard. Oh, we actually can't cast our Wizard's Fire. And I have to be real careful about the paralysis. It's kind of funny how the roguelike mode, what usually kills me is one of these spiders. Alright, I got the save versus the paralysis there. We're just going to run around until we find a loot pile. And maybe get some starting gear. 30 rep means about 6 quests have to be completed for rank 3. Wow, is it that much for 3 ranks? Is that usual, or is that like a Fighters Guild thing? I spent so little time doing factions recently. I did them more like 6 or 7 months ago. But that sounds like a lot of quests for 30 rep. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hit this guy with my iron dagger. We'll try for a little bit here. We actually might have better luck unarmed here, since we do have unarmed as a minor skill. Or actually, maybe it was a major skill, I forgot what it said. It was major, yeah. Generally, factions give 5 rep per quest, so it's pretty standard. Knights orders have a few that grant more. Interesting. Every faction has a linear rank of up every 10 rep, 5 rep per quest. Wow, that's... I think I got to like 50 something on Mage's Guild once. I didn't realize I did so many quests for them. Hopefully this skeleton guy will drop something we can actually wear. What's usually the cap, though, is skill requirements, since the final skill requirement is 87. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that's pretty high. I remember that because that's why some people get stuck at a Mage's Guild, right? Not having a skill high enough when they're trying to join it. I'm pretty sure those skeleton sounds are also used in Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Oh, yeah? I feel like this is one of the most iconic Daggerfall sounds. I feel like everyone has the same trauma of trying to get through Privateer's hold and running into their first screaming skeleton. We got no loot so far here. Alright, one more skeleton. Let's do this, then we'll rest if we can. Oh, there's another one. We gotta run. Hello, Shpan. First time catching a stream of yours. Just want to say your Daggerfall video has been a great inspiration for my own games dev stuff. Keep up the great work. Thank you. What's up? Thanks for joining. I always love hearing comments like that. Up there with vengeance. It's the skeleton sound and the imp sound in Doom. They keep turning up in surprising places. That's pretty funny, actually. That some of these iconic gaming sounds have been reused like that. I haven't played too many of those older games like that, so I would not have caught any of that. Let's see if we could rest here. Oh, we got a mummy, maybe? Man, this must be a pretty high-level dungeon here. Oh, man. All we have is our iron dagger still. And I'm going in circles. Alright, we can fight this guy and rest. We got this. I really love these unarmed animations in this game. Especially the roundhouse. Ooh, nice. All right, we should be able to rest safely here. I think the imp is a camel grunting. Speaking of which, the mummy is the imp sound. Yeah, I really love Daggerfall's enemy sounds. In my little tier list video I did, the sound was like a major factor in where I place the enemies. I kind of want to keep doing that. I only rank the animals so far. I've always been so bad at dodging these bats. This is one of the few enemies in Daggerfall that for some reason I can't get a good read on their attack animations. But yeah, spiders are scary from my experience doing single life runs. The 3 major threats: early game paralysis, early game poison, the vampire sleep spell. Yeah, absolutely. For this roguelike mode, definitely the spider paralysis has been the worst for me. Oh, speaking of which, nice. Got a free action potion now. Wow, I'm surprised I've gotten no loot in this roguelike run so far. When you get a dungeon that's populated with more animals, it's pretty hard to find gear. Or can be sometimes. Especially if you're not getting loot drops. Or loot piles, I should say. No wolf creature? Yeah, if you have the, what's it called? Daggerfall enemy expansion mod, then you can get some wolves and some cool ones too. A couple different ones. There's like an Arctic one. There's regular dogs too. But yeah, I guess it was kind of surprising there's no wolf in the vanilla version. Another Wizard's Fire. That's what we started with, so not too helpful. I think we'll hold on to it, though, in case we find a shop we can sell it at. Firestorm. All these spells, I'll never have the spell points to cast on this character. Alright, I think we have some stuff. Oh, these are both iron. That's crazy. Can we equip this chain? Yeah, we can. That's good. Yeah, what's really cool now is that Jet recently added a shopkeeper to these roguelike mode runs, so there's actually a reason to hold on to all the loot now. You can find the shopkeeper in here somewhere. No secret door here, looks like. Looks like there's another path there we didn't go to yet. Let's check that out. Yeah, it's an interesting thing about this roguelike mode. I do feel like very few classes can actually make use of the majority of spells that show up, unfortunately. But that's I don't say that to say it's like a issue with the mod or anything. That's just kind of the way Daggerfall is with spells. But yeah, it is kind of it's kind of a shame. A lot of times you can't make use of these drops, but with the shopkeeper you can sell it now, so that's at least something. Oh man, we got a spider. That's why I didn't check this way. All right, let's see if we can dodge this guy. I got hit immediately, but at least we didn't get paralyzed. Thanks to you too. If I ever finish my game, I'll send it to Shpan for review. Yeah, sure. Send it my way. I'll check it out. What kind of game is it? I might have missed the comment. You might have said in the comments, but I might have missed it. I'm learning from these streams that I'm surprisingly bad at playing and also reading chat at the same time. It's harder than I thought. I don't know if we could take this guy. Ooh, maybe they'll fight each other. Alright, let's go for some backstabs while they're distracted. Oh, he got paralyzed. That's awesome. All right, maybe we can get him. My bard can't hit a paralyzed mummy. Hey, he's down. Nice. No gear still. All right, we're running from this spider, though. Well, I guess if one gets 100 in a skill, a few might lower to under the hard limit, but getting 100 int and 100 in a spell school, quite the hassle, yeah. Yeah, I think when I did the pure chaos runs, then I would get sometimes crazy spell point pools, just because you can get like 3 times magery. It's not uncommon to have like 100 in one attribute for that mode. I guess it depends on your level too, but yeah. Streaming is a skill? Yeah, absolutely. I'm learning that it's definitely not as easy as I thought, reading chat and gaming at the same time. I love the idea of a character so incompetent at fighting they miss a stationary target. Yeah, I kind of like playing characters that aren't good at any weapon skill. Like, if I do, or I guess I should say, if the lore keeper run wins, then I'm probably just going to give that character a crossbow, because thematically they're just not really trained in weapons, and a crossbow should be easy enough for them. That'll be the vibe I go for. Oh, this is where I started, right? Yeah. Yeah, and the poll's up, guys, actually, if you haven't voted yet. I just posted a poll this morning for which playthrough. I ended up narrowing it down to 3 instead of 4. And I'd be happy with any of them. They all sound pretty fun to me, and they're different things that I haven't tried doing yet, so... Alright, I see a path down here that we didn't go to. We'll have to go to the left, and then down. Yeah, I think the last time I checked, I think the druid was winning, which was kind of surprising to me. I thought the traveling... Ooh, we pacified him. But he's still swinging. I must have hit him again. I thought the Traveling Nomad was going to win because I get a lot of people asking about survival mods and if I do survival playthroughs, which I have done once before, not on the channel, but yeah. I quite like Climate and Calories, I just don't use it all the time. Ooh, I might get paralyzed here. Yeah, I do that a lot, actually. I'm mashing the pacify left click on him. Oh, I got something behind me, duh. I really should, I should head over to Privateer's Hold and practice fighting bats. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like they're so hard to read the attack animation for me. Oh, there's the shopkeeper, nice. We'll try to pacify some of them here. This might be a little rough. Actually, we should see if there's anything in these real quick. Steel War Axe could be decent. Oh, can't wear that. Okay. Is this, I guess it's plate. I'll try this for a bit. Actually, I forgot. Is axe even a skill for bards? Nah. But with steel material, it might be... Nah, it's probably not better than unarmed right now. I'd imagine random flailing is a realistic way you deal with bats. That's true. It's actually pretty realistic. Just swinging at him. Hoping for the best. Oh man, this could be rough. Oh, duh. I can also just go for the shopkeeper right now and see what he has. Let's sell some stuff first. That was a ton of gold. That's good. We probably can buy some decent equipment if we live. Alright, he's got an iron saber, dwarven mace, and enchanted dwarven saber. That sounds pretty good. Orc strength. Purification's also good. Yeah, not too bad actually. Let's just grab these for now. Oh man, these skeletons. Alright, let's see what this did. Saber. I'm not sure what buff it gave me. Man, this sword looks awesome, though, with the lightning. Sheesh. Ooh, that was pretty sick. That's a nice weapon. Yeah. We got him. "16 hours, man. Imagine the skeletons waiting for you to sell and buy to attack you." Yeah, that was pretty polite of them. Where else did we miss here? Oh, I see down here, maybe. Is that a... Nah, that's a... Oh, yeah, this side here. So there's a little path there. Is that all? That might be it. Oh, yeah, there's a path here, too, looks like. All right, so how do we get back? Head down that way. Oh, it's not too far, actually. Yeah, just gotta follow this winding path down. A genius scam for this lad would be to sell health potions. You get beaten nearly to death by the skeletons and have to buy more health potions. Now you're thinking? Alright, now we got a sick weapon, though. We're ready to clear out some of this dungeon. I'm not sure what this is doing. Let me check my stuff here. It could be like some kind of, I don't know, cure poison or cure disease or something. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh man, this guy's gonna solo me. Alright, this guy's too tough for me. Yeah, what kind of buff lasts so short like that? I wonder. Oh man. I just cornered myself. Oh, there's some loot here as well. We can't wear plate though, unfortunately. I do have a potion of purification, but I kind of want to hold on to that. All right, looks like we can get there from here. That's good. We'll just go forward here. All right, I think this looks right. Yeah. Some more stuff to sell, maybe. Wow. Oh yeah, I guess Longblade's not even a, oh, I was thinking for some reason it was a minor skill at least. What's with the kill counter? Oh, yeah, so the mod author for this jet, he added a kill counter to this. So that lets people kind of decide what kind of goals they want to do for this mode. Because the roguelike mode in itself doesn't have any set win condition necessarily. So some people might like to escape, and some people might want to, you know, clear the dungeon instead maybe. So you usually can't see how many dungeons remain in Daggerfall unless you have something like that. Yeah, so it's just part of the mod. How do I get over there? This like winds down, it looks like. All right, so this was a circle, looks like. Oh man, this is confusing. Dungeons truly feel oppressing in this game. Quite a challenge sometimes. Thanks God for TCL. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, that's part of, that's one of those things in Daggerfall people love or hate, I always feel. The dungeon design is, yeah, it could be intense. Some people love having to map it out, having to find and travel through these crazy routes. But I hear a lot of complaints about it too. A lot of people don't love this design. Which is cool if you are playing on Unity. You get the smaller dungeons option, which I think strikes a pretty good middle ground. Where the dungeons still feel pretty big compared to other RPGs, but of course they're much smaller than the vanilla version. Man, I'm so bad with my longsword skill or longblade skill. It's probably better to be unarmed, even though it's dwarven material. I'm rather curious what that sword's got, though. Maybe take a quick stop at the Mage's Guild after dungeon. Oh yeah, we could do that for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I can't think of a buff that lasts like 2 seconds like that and then wears off. I'm thinking it might be some kind of cure spell, actually. Potentially. But I feel like even those last longer than like 2 seconds usually. Though I guess it depends, right? That skeleton got paralyzed back there. We're not too worried about this guy. We got the free action if we need it. But we're pretty low, so I'll just pop this. Hey, I did get paralyzed, but we killed him. Now we gotta wait until that little yellow icon on the bottom goes away. I think it's very corridor heavy, which can make you feel like you're going in circles. Yeah, it's definitely easy to get lost in these dungeons. It's even hard just to identify where you haven't been sometimes. Which is what's kind of cool about some other mods, like the Piece of Chalk mod can help you mark the dungeon for yourself. I mean, you can mark the dungeon yourself anyway on the map, but some people like doing it without the map. But even here, I'm not exactly sure where I haven't explored yet. And this isn't even that big of a dungeon, really. This is probably a medium-sized, maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but Hey, what's up, Perez? How's it going? Like, these corridors look like they're mostly explored. Except I missed this door right here. Alright, I think I see where we missed. We missed a door up here and another door over here. So we gotta go all the way back up now. And we're actually not too far, maybe? Oh yeah, we're pretty close actually, randomly. That's good. Alright, so we go back that way, go up this cave. Alright, I think we're on the right track here. I don't think it's the size, but just the repetition. Also, you have to factor people are less likely to post how much they like something. Yeah, for sure. I do think, wait, let me see here. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I do think, some dungeon layouts especially can feel repetitive. I kind of like these ones that have different, you know, somewhat of like a cave-like structure than more hallways. But yeah, I think the ones that are just purely hallways, for some people, that's just not going to be their vibe, right? Standard lower size? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this actually feels pretty big for a smaller size dungeon. I'm actually not that familiar with how the layouts work and all that. Hey, there's the exit. All right, cool. Made sense. There couldn't be too many more places left. That was actually a pretty well... I guess like a good balance for how difficult that one was. Oh, wow, that's interesting that it was here. This is... let's check. We're in Cambria. The lost home of Necro Melizar. Let's head over to a city that'll probably have a mage's guild. We could check what we got here. We should have enough gold. Yeah, and even for myself, sometimes I like playthroughs where I don't do much dungeon delving at all. For me, it's kind of a mood thing. I don't always love it. I like it a lot more with the roguelike mod, honestly. Though, I also just like it sometimes when I'm in a specific mood. It's kind of mood dependent for me. This might have it. I think once in a blue moon, Corridor Fest is nice for variety, but it's when you get a load in a row can grind a guy down. I love the fantasy of being an adventurer. Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me, it kind of just depends on the mood I'm in. It depends on the character and the playthrough that I'm doing. But I have had playthroughs where I essentially don't even need to go into dungeons, and those are fun for me also. But yeah, sometimes I am in a mood just to do multiple hours of a nice dungeon delving experience. Alright, let's find the identifier here. But I grew up with fighting fantasy and D&D, so I'm more used to using my imagination, which I understand is having to meet a game halfway. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I'm pretty okay with that too, personally. I mean, I've played a decent amount of older games as well, so I don't mind having to use my imagination a bit. Identify. Alright, let's see what this was. Cast when used, stamina. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I haven't noticed let me try that on. Dwarven Never Tiring Saber. It's a good name. That is such a short icon of a... like, look how fast that goes away. Alright, now I'll know in the future, potentially, that a really fast expiring icon like that is stamina. Hey, what's up, Drax? Alright, now we know. Yeah, some of the older D&D games I played is mostly a few of the DOS games. I guess Realms of Arcania isn't D&D, but it's similar feeling. It's Dark Eye though, but also the Dark Sun games, which I like. I think I have to update this mod to get the Abyss dungeons, but I really want to try that out. I also forgot to respond to Jet's message. Now I feel bad. I'll do that after the stream. But I guess it's pretty cool that story's an option. Maybe we should try story. Story dungeons are crazy, right? I feel like they might be the biggest in the game. What class do we want? It's a low-level spell. I don't think I've ever used this spell. It has been a little while since I've actually even had magic on any of my characters, really, outside of the roguelike mode. But I think in the next playthrough, regardless of what we do on the channel, that character's going to have some access to magic. I don't know if it's going to be... I think only the Lore Keeper would be a full magic build, but the Druid, of course, is going to have some magic. And even the Traveling Nomad is going to have some magic, I think. Main story dungeons are handmade, if I remember correctly. Yes, that's right. Which is really nice for people that are trying to get through the main story and they got to look up a guide or something. You could at least have the layout of the dungeon. We immediately got a Dwemer guy here. Looks like we got a Wood Elf or our Barbarian here. And this is all good stuff. We could wear all of this, right? Yeah. I wonder if I'll be able to recognize which one I'm in if I move around a bit. It's been a little while since I've done the main quest. Maybe a year since I've done the main quest now, actually. This is 3, this is 5, we'll wear that. Oh, oops. And now it's actually worth taking everything because we got the shopkeep somewhere. Wow, I didn't know Dwemer were in the game. Yeah, this is from a mod. That enemy's from a mod. I actually don't know if it's also in the Daggerfall enemy expansion mod, but it might just be from Dungeons of Daggerfall, actually. It's from one of those two, definitely, but I'm not sure which one. Because I think the first time I remember seeing them is from SquidKamer's Dungeons of Daggerfall mod. He specifically built Dwemer dungeons, so... But it definitely could be that they were already there from Daggerfall enemy expansion mod. It's definitely possible. Is this your dungeon? Oh, that's pretty funny. This is exactly where my last run died. That's a good call. It actually is already looking familiar to me. That's pretty funny. Time to get my revenge. I'm so sad at the way I played the ending of that playthrough there when I died to that mage. Funny though, I I thought I'd be able to rest there. I thought I had enough space. This literally looks like one of the halls that I died in, one of the corner rooms. Oh, she doesn't want to cast a spell. Okay. Am I crazy, or is this exactly where I died? If you remember my last episode, I ran up somewhere like this. There was a locked gate, and then that mage was coming at me over here. Then I ran this way, and I remember this one being open. And then at the end of the hall right here, there was a corner room, which this is a corner room. And this is a locked door. Yeah, oh my god, this is exactly where I died. This is hilarious. That's crazy. Yeah, I tried to rest here. I couldn't rest. The door was locked. I tried to kill the guy, and he got me. Marwyn has some real blink and you're dead mages. Not sure how a one-life run would go in that game. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like permadeath in Daggerfall, though it can be tricky, it sounds a lot harder than it actually is, in my opinion. What makes it hard, though, of course, is being consistent, right? Like, eventually, you'll find a situation where you're not well prepared, or you're missing something that you need, or you just kind of play it lazily and then you die. But I think permadeath is very manageable in Daggerfall. Even if you're not building, like, a particularly strong build. It can be hard, though. It's still hard. It can be hard in the early levels. But if you're playing carefully, if you're running from the fights you need to be running from, it's not too crazy. But, yeah, I don't know about Morrowind. I haven't actually played too much of it, but that sounds pretty cool. We got another spell here. The things that stick in one's mind, yeah. I'm pretty happy with the run overall and how it ended, though. I did learn a lesson about that run, though. I think, as much as I love long... Oh, that was Mithril Staff? That's pretty cool. I'm going to keep that, actually. As much as I love having a nice long journey and playthrough, and I think it's probably fun for you guys, too, it did make me wish sometimes that I had other characters I could be playing in other playthroughs that I was doing, and when it's 19 episodes... It's just so long, and I can only do so much. I mean, I probably could squeeze in more videos, honestly, but yeah, it gets more and more work, of course, to do that, so... If I have a run that's kind of designed to be more like 10 episodes, 5 to 10 episodes, depending if I survive it all, I think that'll be better for having more variety, being able to try out more character concepts and all that fun stuff. But I got so far with the pirate playthrough that I really just wish I was able to see it through. But let's try the Mithril Staff for a bit. Mithril Staff wearing Barbarian. That sounds pretty cool. This is probably better. Oh no, it's actually not. Similar. We got a secret door here. There's a skeleton war wizard that has a life drain ring, and as soon as he sees you, he blasts you. The only way of not dying is dodging back out of the room. It's very easy to become overpowered in Morrowind, which is why it's hilarious when you defeat the big bad and then get whacked by some random nobody in a no-name dungeon. Yeah, I guess, I mean, also in Daggerfall also, it's not too hard to get broken with a magic build. If you just really want to survive some kind of challenge playthrough or something. Oh, what's hitting me? Shadungeon's gonna claim me again in this run here. Though I actually think like martial builds in Daggerfall are pretty well balanced. But even magic builds can be balanced too. It just, if you're not building to be extremely strong, then, oh man, look at this guy. It's really like the spell absorption builds that get really broken. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty expensive to cast spells, so it takes time to get your whichever magic skills up that you need. This guy's gonna kill me. All right, let's fight it out. This is not a full playthrough. We can go for it. Oh man, okay. I rarely see Ice Atronox, man. A small, simple goal, like doing a quest in every region, well-inhabited region. Yeah, something like that is nice to me. For the Druid playthrough, I was thinking if that's the one that wins, I think it's leading in the polls, so I think it might win. I was thinking I'll stick to a small region, and maybe the goal is going to be dealing with every unnatural threat. So, Daedra, Undead, vampires. We're going to go to all of the dungeons and the crypts and the graveyards and all that kind of stuff that have those enemies lurking, and we're going to clear out all those dungeons. And that'll be kind of like protecting that region as the druid. I think that could be a cool way to, you know, restore balance, have that kind of concept built into the playthrough. But yeah, I do like quest pack goals also, but it's just that the treasure hunt mod ended up taking so long. And yeah, I did not think it was going to be 6 months. And I didn't even get the 4th clue, and it was already 6 months. Part of that, though, I was doing like an episode a week, so I could have done more. But yeah. I prefer martial builds. I do detest Paralyze, however, due to how long it lasts. Yeah, Paralyze is super long. That's why it's a killer in these roguelike runs. Usually in a full playthrough, you have the tools to deal with it by that point, you know? Or if you don't, you know, you can just run. But yeah, it's pretty easy to get clipped by those spiders. Oh, did I spawn right next to the exit? That's pretty funny. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I couldn't have been that far in. That was kind of close to where I died in the end of the episode, too. I retraced my steps back to the entrance, and then I passed through it. Let me go back to loading this player home. This player home was kind of cool, too. It feels like it needed another balance pass. Oh, Paralyze? Yeah, I could see that. It does last a very long time. It also depends, though. So it can sometimes end short. But yeah, usually it is super long. Especially because the type of enemies it's on, you can run into a spider really early. Yeah, this player home I thought was really cool, but it's already like randomly furnished with a lot of stuff, so the only non-furnished space here was like this attic. But it's kind of weird to do decorations in this, but hey, what's up, Penguin? Didn't expect to stream today? Yeah, this is kind of a random one. I think most of my streams are going to be on Saturdays and Sundays moving forward, but I was kind of in the mood. I had time today, too. Hope you're doing well. I probably am going to end the stream soonish, though. We're just fooling around in the player home right now. Though, I feel like this is not flagging as my player home right now. I really like how there's a chance for the banks to sell you homes that are outside the walls. Like, even a home like this here, or one like this, it's actually possible for the bank to sell them to you. And you won't know until you buy it because it doesn't show the location in the bank. But yeah, I got one of them that was really cool. It was basically a farm like this, which was kind of sick. You call me on your lunch break? Nice. Yeah, this is a pretty random hour. But yeah, I had some time. Yeah, early spider is more or less... Well, I guess I'll die now. Yeah, if you get paralyzed, it's basically GG at that level. It would be super cool, and I was looking for a mod that would help me do this. I thought it'd be really cool if I could make the windmill my player home. Like, how sick would this be? This NPC would probably still be here, which I wouldn't mind too much. It could kind of be like your friend just hanging out, or your roommate. But I would love to make one of these windmills my player home. And there was a mod that lets you... I can't think of the name right now. I was just looking at it the other day. It lets you, like, flag any building as a player home. Or it might not be any building, but it's any... I guess, building in a city, maybe? A cool mod. At least spiders can be hit. Scorpions are so evasive. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, spiders usually aren't too bad for me. But yeah, I feel like when I'm actually in the middle of a playthrough, in the context of a playthrough, I usually have a way to deal with paralysis. Or I wouldn't be dungeon delving unless I did usually. A cool mod would be for a sale sign outside houses so you can purchase them using the sign. Yeah, it would be nice. Something that would let me know the location of the building before I buy it could be cool also. Can we actually climb this kind of upside down here? Nah, I don't think so. Nah. So glad Privateer's Hold doesn't have any spiders. Yeah, if it did have spiders, man, Daggerfall already gets like a lot of... I don't think complaints isn't the right word, but it already gets a lot of people struggling with the starter dungeon, the tutorial dungeon. Could you imagine if Privateer's Hold also had spiders that were just paralyzing people and they couldn't get out of there? Like, the skeleton's already rough enough. Though, is it possible for Privateer's Hold to spawn any spiders? I guess not, right? Paralysis immunity, my beloved? Yeah. It's just such a tempting advantage to take on all my playthroughs. Even though I know like a free action potion isn't that expensive or anything, it's just like, man, I'd rather just get the immunity and not deal with it. I never owned a home yet. I really need to get there in one of my playthroughs. Yeah, they're super expensive. I don't blame you. I feel like in some of my playthroughs, I'll get like 70,000, 80,000. And then houses still can cost like 300,000 at the cheapest. Actually, there might be some cheaper than that, but around there. And at the most expensive, like close to $1 million. So yeah, I definitely don't blame you for not getting there yet. Though at like really late game, you will get the type of material drops that sell for a fortune. So it does get easier, but it really kind of like ramps up towards the end, your gold income. And by that point, you're kind of done, maybe. Unless you're doing like a specific playthrough or you want to start at a higher level or something, which can be fun too. This was a pretty cool player home too. I think this was the loads file that had this one. The difficulty of Daggerfall is practically mythologized for something that's actually pretty easy when you know what's going on. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I really don't think this game is as hard as people say. And especially when I first came into it, I had this expectation that it was going to be really, really difficult for me. And then it was definitely hard at first, but it was definitely more knowledge difficulty for me. The first character I built was really weak. And as expected, classically, I died in Privateer's Hold, which I feel like everyone has that experience with their first character. But I knew I wanted to make a custom class and not choose one of the pre-made classes. I don't know why I had that idea in my mind. I think I probably watched a video where people were like, the pre-made classes are terrible. And then I ended up making a custom class that was like 10 times worse than any of the pre-made classes, or at least most of the pre-made classes. But yeah, I do think it's not as hard as people say, which is also why I feel like I get comments sometimes about permadeath playthroughs, and they're like, oh, you must be crazy. But actually, permadeath is really manageable in Daggerfall, and I think it's one of the really cool things about this game. I think if it were much harder, then I probably wouldn't play permadeath, because I like to have a pretty good chance of completing them. I don't complete the runs a lot, obviously, but it doesn't feel impossible to complete these runs, even longer ones. I think it was 19 episodes for the pirate playthrough, and I was on the 4th clue, and I also feel like I played the last episode really poorly. So all those factors came together to kill that run, but it was definitely doable. And if someone had played, with the same build I had, which I don't feel like was a very strong build, it was restricted from any magic, so definitely not a strong build, and it still was definitely manageable. So, if you can do that with weaker builds, then, with a stronger build, it's definitely manageable. I'm so credit shy, I don't even want to take credit in so many regions to afford one. Oh yeah, of course you can do the whole bank fraud thing if you just want to own a house. Man, look at this artist room here. Pretty sick. Which pre-made class is best? I guess it kind of depends. I think a lot of people will cite Ranger as being pretty good. Oh man, I did not want to show the nudity on the stream. Let's get out of here. I think Ranger's pretty good, Barbarian's pretty good, the Knight's pretty good. I think Sorcerer can be good, but you probably want a little bit more knowledge of the game if you're going to play that class. I think people say Spellblade. Is that what it's called? Nightblade or Spellblade? I think it's Spellblade. I think that one's considered a good class as well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking off the top of my head. I think it's hard if you have a completionist attitude. I've seen Let's Plays where they just seem to repeatedly bang their head against a dungeon rather than bailing on it. Yeah, if you want to 100% that kind of stuff, or you really don't like running from enemies, stuff like that could definitely make it more challenging. Yeah, I rarely feel like I need to completely clear out a dungeon in this game. Especially because Daggerfall doesn't really have anything that marks like a cleared dungeon unless you want to just kill every enemy in it. But there's no, final dungeon treasure chest or like a final boss or anything. If it had those things, then I think people would have a more common, opinion on what counts as like clearing a dungeon. It would just be, find the boss and kill it, and you've cleared the dungeon maybe, or find the dungeon final chest loot or whatever. But since none of that exists, then yeah, I don't think it really ever mattered to me to kind of clear dungeons. Depends on what you're looking for. Survivability, easy leveling, or something else. Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to even the stronger ones. But yeah, I do think most people say Ranger. That's what I've seen anyway. I don't really have that much experience with the pre-made classes. I have a little bit more experience now thanks to the roguelike mode, but yeah, I never really did too many playthroughs. I did start some as pre-made classes, but I never really got too far with them. Yeah, I'm sure in the right hand someone could even complete the game as an acrobat. Yeah, I think so for sure. I think even some of the weakest builds that you can make in custom class, someone could still manage to complete this with. Most work alright as long as you rush through Privateer's Hold and straight into an appropriate guild. Yeah, I think so too. I prefer the objective-based way of playing, get in and get out. I like to roleplay that I'm doing a job. Yeah, I usually like to frame it around some kind of role-playing reason too. I really can't remember the last time I just went into a dungeon with the goal of completely clearing it. Oh man, I'm lagging like crazy over here. Not sure why. Let's let this settle itself. Enchanted items help a lot? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, basically as soon as you get yourself some enchanted items, you can make any build kind of work. I watched someone play as an acrobat, and even when running from 80% of enemies, they managed to beat the game eventually. Nice. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. I feel like if you play well, and you know what you're doing, if you understand, especially the main quest dungeon layouts, if you know them well, I can imagine someone being able to manage that. Especially, I feel like what could be cool with a run like that is I would just like spend time honing my running skill. You know, just like sprinting around town, sprinting outside. You just build up that skill, get really good at running, and then you can, yeah, run, get your speed up, and just run from everything. Honestly, while sometimes the time limits the exploration, if I don't like a dungeon, I just bail and just a quest. Yeah. Yeah, I see sometimes like Reddit posts about some frustration for some people with quests. I just think it's a mindset thing with although I understand it can be frustrating to not be able to complete a quest, but I think it's kind of cool that in Daggerfall sometimes you set out, you journey to a quest, the time runs out on you, or you just can't figure it out because of the dungeon layout. Maybe you're resting too much. One of the really cool things about time-limited quests is it kind of is a natural restriction on how much you can rest. You know, the hours pass when you rest, and resting is just like pretty forgiving in this game. You know, you don't have to be too far away from enemies, and you can basically do it whenever. So I feel like the time limit on quests is kind of a cool way to help balance resting, and I think that was one of the intended reasons for it. Because if you're resting after every fight, then you know, the game becomes a lot easier, right? So if your quests are preventing you from doing that, you gotta strategically plan out your resting a little bit more, then I think that's kind of cool design in my eyes. Of course, some mods can help you do that too, like climate and calories. I think the way it works, I haven't used it in a while, but I think if you're not actually tired, the game won't let you rest. So even if your health is a little bit lower, but your character had already slept a few hours or something, you're not actually sleepy, you can't just rest for free. But yeah, I think that's sort of the logic that the developers had with Daggerfall with timed quests, or part of the logic anyway, was to restrict very frequent resting. Have you thought of doing live stream permadeath run? Yeah, I have thought about it actually. I might even do it on the next one, depending on if you guys enjoy the live streams. I just don't know if I guess I still can just sort of publish the video after the live stream's done. I noticed that happened on last week's video. But yeah, I think even if the next run, even if I don't do it live streamed, I think I will start doing some on the live stream. And the poll I ran for whether to do the streams on Saturday or Sundays was, I think it was leaning more towards Sunday, but they were still pretty even. So what I might do is, if I had some kind of permadeath run that I was streaming specifically, maybe I would do those on like every Sunday, and then Saturday I could do something else like the roguelike mode, or just player home decorating, or just fooling around, you know, maybe showing off some mods and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that could be fun. I don't know how much interest my live streams have on the channel right now. It's hard to tell. But I actually really enjoy it. I like hanging out with everyone. I like chatting about the game. And I realized even after kind of having this Daggerfall channel for like a year or so, I guess it was, I haven't really had like that many opportunities to chat with you guys and just hang out. So it's been fun actually. I'm really enjoying it. Let me catch up on chat here. I feel like I just ranted for 20 minutes. Also, best tip ever, console commands. If I feel like having completely explored a smaller dungeon and haven't found the NPC loot pod, quick command, though some say it's cheating. Yeah, but even if it's cheating or not cheating, I feel like you should just play the way you like. I think that's okay, you know? If you feel like using a console command in the moment, just whatever you're feeling. 910, I missed it due to visual glitches of flats not loading properly. Oh yeah. But as for the regular dungeons in the game, I'm in love with them, especially the big confusing ones. Yeah, I quite like them too. I don't always feel in the mood to dungeon delve in Daggerfall, but when I do, it feels great. Sometimes it just really scratches that itch I want. What is the roguelike mode? The roguelike mode is a mod called On-Site Procurement by Jet0822. You can find it on Nexus. And it lets you do like a quick start. You set out your load or your loadout here, You can choose between different classes. You can go random on everything. It'll place you in a dungeon, and you have to try and survive, find loot. There's a shop in there that helps you accomplish that. But yeah, I can do one real quick for you if you want to choose a class. The Mantellan Crux is a pretty bad dungeon. I can't even remember that one on the top of my head right now. Yeah, I really feel like I should probably revisit some of the main quest dungeons just because it's been so long. Dude, hi. Hey, what's up, Valentine puppy? You haven't watched the Pirate End yet, but you will? Nice, yeah. It was pretty tragic. It's actually, like, with my first pirate run, when I died to the Lich, I thought it was a really cool send-off, so I didn't care at all that the run died, because I just thought it was cool. Let's do a knight so we're immune to paralysis this time. We'll go with a large dungeon. Let's go a higher level. We haven't done like a 15 in a while. So I was pretty content with the way my very first pirate playthrough went. I don't know how many of you guys actually watched that. It was a long time ago now, maybe like a year ago. But I died with a pretty epic duel against a Lich, so I just didn't feel that bad. But in this recent one, I died to just some silly mage where I accidentally cornered myself. So I felt like I didn't have the epic send-off that I wanted, so I kind of regret that ending a little bit. But that's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, so with this dungeon roguelike mode, we start off in a random dungeon like this. And you could set your own goals. You could make it so that you want to survive the dungeon, just escape, or maybe you want to kill everything, or, you know, something like that. But usually I just try to escape. All right, let me catch up on chat. I feel bad if I'm pausing too much, guys. I'm not great at playing and chatting. I prefer watching streams of people who are familiar with the game. I'm getting a little tired of blind Let's Plays, since I often think they don't give old games a fair shout, since they don't read the manual. Yeah, I do find a decent amount of people are pretty quick to write games off, or feel like, I don't know, maybe criticize them pretty harshly without giving them a lot of time. But, yeah, I guess sometimes the game just doesn't mesh well. Wow, look at this pile of bodies here. That's crazy. Oh, Mantellan Crux is the final dungeon? Okay, now I remember. That dungeon, of all the dungeons in the game, that you really can't forget that. Even if you never touch the main quest again, you do it like once. I've only done it once, and it was a year ago, but yeah, I could never forget that final dungeon. That was some wild stuff. It was crazy for what it was, but I can't say I was a fan of the design, personally. The only thing that lacks Daggerfall is more relationships with NPCs. Like, you never get friends. Yeah, I'm someone that kind of enjoys the whole companion aspect of RPGs, especially in CRPGs. I really love companions. And yeah, Daggerfall can be a little lonely, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that, but there are a couple mods that help with that. There's a companion mod called Bellwind and something else that gives you a companion, though I think that was delisted from the Nexus mod. That's what I heard. And then there's also Language Skills Overhaul, which lets you add companions, which is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, in general, Daggerfall is definitely, it doesn't have the whole, you know, travel as a party kind of vibe that some people want. Something like the Fellowship of the Ring or something, you know? Or like CRPGs, but yeah. I love that you appreciate atmosphere in games like I do. Yeah, it's one of the things about Daggerfall I love the most. And I think it's one of the things that Daggerfall does so well. And I think it's one of the characteristics of this game that, even for people that don't know quite how to word it, and that includes myself sometimes, you know, sometimes I have trouble communicating what it is about Daggerfall that I love, but I think the atmosphere is one of those big aspects of Daggerfall that is really, really loved by people that love this game. No other like RPG really quite feels like how Daggerfall feels. And I usually get that feeling most when traveling in the open wilderness. Though even the dungeons can give you that feeling, sometimes the towns can give you that feeling. It's just a very, very unique vibe. I also think the aesthetic is really great in this game. I feel like it aged well. I feel like it still looks really beautiful. So yeah, really helps build the atmosphere, the aesthetic as well. Thanks, man. Have a great day. Yeah, you too, B. Take care. Let me see what comments I probably missed here. Ultima 7 and Daggerfall are your favorites? I have not tried any Ultima games still, actually, which is crazy. I really should try one of those out. There's a lot of classic games I got to get back to and try out someday. Oh, it's your favorite dungeon ever, Ragnarok? I was just bad-mouthing it. It is absolutely intense. It's like no other dungeon in any RPG I've ever played. Especially the funniest thing about that dungeon is when you press M like this and you see what it actually looks like and you're like, all right, this is insane. The Metallic Crux feels like the devs wanted to show how far they can push the engine and breaking point doesn't quite get there, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Daggerfall selects for people with 100% more patience than regular people. That's probably somewhat true. I think you do need a lot of patience in this game. Yeah, that might be true. So that's kind of something I love about Daggerfall with that, though, is, you know, and part of why I like permadeath runs so much is, like, I just don't really care if the run dies. And that's, like, a really cool aspect of this game. I think some people get, or maybe they wouldn't try permadeath because they feel like they would get a little frustrated or kind of worked up or anxious about their run, but, yeah, it doesn't really bother me if these characters die. I just feel like it's part of their story, you know? They died, it ends there, and then you just make another one and you explore a completely new region you've never seen before, and you go to dungeons you've never been to before, so the game is just so well suited for that kind of storytelling, in my opinion. Nobody will ever be able to explain why Sheogorath apparently just spends time in Aetherius. I wish I knew the lore a little better. With all the flaws in it, it's still genius. The concept of the game itself is amazing. Yeah, I think so too. The real feeling is when you arrive at a village in the middle of the night. Yeah, that is like, I mean, yeah, that just all ties back into Daggerfall's incredible sense of travel. I just feel like one of the best at this. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm just going in circles reading chat here. Wow, is it hard to play and read chat? But yeah, I love that feeling of just showing up at a town in the middle of the night. And the gate's locked, but the outside inn is still open. You rest until the morning. It's a cool vibe. Then you shop and do all the stuff you got to do. It just hits. I'm into slower plotting Let's Plays. The more mundane and role-playing the Let's Player does make it feel more alive. Yeah, I love the aesthetic too. Yeah, that's kind of the way I like playing in general. A little slower. I do try to keep the pace going even more than I normally would if I was just playing for myself, just because I don't want it to be too boring, and sometimes I feel... Well, I wouldn't say pressure is the right word, but I do feel sometimes a little bit when I'm recording for you guys that I should... you know, not shop for too long, not do stuff. Oh man, look at that trap, just almost one-shot me. Because sometimes I will, like, shop, even in one of the episodes, for like 30 minutes, and then I realize I've been shopping for 30 minutes, what am I doing? Probably half you guys clicked off the video by now. Yeah, but I do prefer taking it slower. It's like seeing a light in the distance when driving through the night. Yeah, absolutely. That's the vibe. When you see that little glimmer of a town coming into view in the distance, that's quintessential Daggerfall vibes right there. Not many games have you arrive in a town, check the time, and go, no, because you see that the bank closed half an hour ago. Ultima 7... Oh, I missed the... Where is that? Ultima 7 is amazing. Better than Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I really should try at least some of the Ultima games. It's one of those big series I haven't gotten around to yet. The number of projects that are attempting something like Daggerfall keeps growing. Who knows if any will come out? Yeah, I've been noticing a decent amount of those as well. Some really, really indie projects. Then, of course, the Wayward Realms is really popular as a spiritual successor coming out at some point. But I've noticed a few others, too. I think a lot of people are starting to appreciate Daggerfall's design. And I think other people are realizing there's definitely a market for this type of game. Although, of course, it would still be niche. But, yeah. Feels like listening to an obscure band. I can feel that. It's like in one of those story dungeons where it turned out you had to find a secret torch and pull it like a lever to move on, but the whole dungeon's like that. Yeah. I'm not sure if you would like King's Field. That is a vibes to the max. I really enjoyed King's Field 4. I don't know which one's King's Field 4, but I did play... I played the PlayStation 2 one, which was called Ancient City, I think it's called. I thought that was pretty good. Shorter than I was expecting it to be, but pretty fun. Are you excited for the new game coming from the Daggerfall devs? Is that the Wayward Realms you might be talking about? Yeah, I've talked about that a little bit on the channel. I didn't sign up for the early access, but when it fully releases, I'll definitely cover it and definitely play it on the channel for a little bit. Was there a Discord boop here? No, I don't have a Discord at the moment. You can play this game in a multiple of ways, unless you mean like the Daggerfall Unity Discord, which you can find in the subreddit, I think. You play this game in multiple ways. I used to rob banks for paintings. Yeah, I feel like the bank fraud is a classic way to play this game. But robbing banks for paintings, that's pretty cool. But I still prefer the more mindless dungeons in the game, the ones where I keep moving forward, explore every nook and cranny, kill monsters, and loot, all while soaking up the atmosphere. Yeah, that's what's cool too. It's not just the open wilderness and travel of Daggerfall that's like its own really unique vibe that's hard to find in other RPGs, but it's also the dungeon crawling. It's also just another aspect that's hard to find. I think that's why people kind of, at least those that love this game, continue to kind of gravitate towards it. It's just hard to find other games that capture this feeling. Yeah, the one-way teleporters are definitely confusing. And some of the main quest dungeons that make use of teleporters are crazy. Vengeance. I've seen some totally crazy mods for graphics for this game. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are capturing these days this sort of dark fantasy aesthetic for Daggerfall, which I think is really cool. It's not the way I like building my own mod list, but I think it looks awesome. I've seen some people do. It's like this. I don't even know how to explain it, but it kind of reminds me of some like 80s movie. It has this real retro fantasy, dark retro fantasy vibe that reminds me of like, I don't know, some of those older late 80s sword and sorcery and fantasy films. You got that like dark saturation, orange colors, got a lot of moody darkness to it in general. I think it looks cool. I think it's become like a popular aesthetic in modding for Daggerfall at the moment. I've noticed a lot of streamers and content creators have a look like that. I think it looks good. Ultima 7 is amazing except for the combat. That's usually okay for me. I played some combat systems that I don't love where I can still love the game. Specifically Realms of Arcania series, where I love how the game doesn't have too many combat encounters, because if it did, it would be a crazy chore. But the combat's not amazing in that game. It's not bad either. It's just super long. Every encounter is super long in that game, unless there's some like meta builds that are really good. I'm not sure. That's King's Field 4. Oh, cool. Yeah. Ancient City. I played that one. It was a long time ago, though. No, maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago or so. I remember liking it, though. I thought it was good. Slow paced, methodical, like intentional combat system where you have to be careful. Really weird and mysterious NPCs, and they're sparse, and just a kind of interesting world. Getting teleported because you walked into the wrong room in Durrani Tower is brutal. Yeah. I think that happened on like episode 3 or 4 of this pirate run when I accidentally went to Durrani Tower instead of the right dungeon with the treasure clue, the next treasure clue. But yeah, Durrani Tower has it like sets it up as a trap for you just immediately. Sorry I'm late. Anyone know what the name of the mod is that you can join a faction battle outside and pick side? Oh, that's called Lives of Raiders. I'll write that in the chat for you. It's called Lives of Raiders. It's kind of an older mod, but I have no issues with it. Works great still. No lag or anything. I could even show it to you again if you want to see it. I can load up a file. For my Daggerfall, to have crunchy graphics, but anything that helps players get into is a good thing in my book. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like keeping it personally to like a more of a vanilla aesthetic, but I like both, and I could see myself in some future playthrough fooling around with some more visual mods, more mods that change the aesthetic. But yeah, I love the way this game looks. But I do think in the future I will try some other visual mods just to spice things up and get a feel for it. Let's find a farm here. Oh yeah, after I started playing Daggerfall, I went and rewatched Conan the Barbarian. Nice. Yeah, I think Daggerfall does capture a bit of a sword and sorcery feeling, though I do think those visual mods capture it a little better than the original Daggerfall aesthetic does. But yeah, I think they both give you that vibe a little bit, at least for me personally. Let's see. Yeah, let's head over to a farmstead, see if we can get that combat mod going. I liked Ultima 5 because of how the game used the included lore books as a gameplay mechanic, like the physical feelies in the box. Interesting, what do you mean by that? It used the included lore books as a gameplay mechanic. Oh, at this farm we just got a giant raid. These are pretty dangerous. When you get this encounter, it's not actually a battle. So it's just you against the giants. They're charging me. Oh man. My thief build is not ready for this, I think. Watched a live production of Hamlet the other day and realized it likely helped inspire some aspect of Daggerfall's narrative. Maybe that's obvious, I just never considered before. Oh, that's interesting. What aspects of it do you think? I don't feel like that's obvious unless I've missed some discussions from other people. It might be obvious amongst the lore masters of Elder Scrolls, but definitely not obvious to me. Daggerfall's desert and jungle biomes are great. Yeah, they're amazing. It's actually why I specifically chose for the nomad option of the next playthrough to be in the desert region. First of all, I think it's really cool to try and survive the desert region with survival mods like climate and calories. We'll be forced to keep the temperature in mind, forced to worry about our thirst and our hunger and all that. I think it's a really good fit for like a traveling merchant playthrough. But yeah, I love Daggerfall's deserts. The jungle biomes were kind of new to me on a more recent playthrough. I didn't realize just how much they felt different from the like high rock locations. But yeah, they're also very cool, especially the ones that are filled with like inland water. I mean, it just fits the aesthetic so well. It fits the vibe so nicely. And some of those inland water sections are like big enough to basically take your ship into them. They're huge. It's kind of deceiving, actually, like a little deceptive on the map. Like maybe Totambu might be one of them. Like, yeah, like this water section, you can see all this. This is like way, way larger than it seems. I guess actually if you're familiar with Daggerfall, it probably does seem really big, but it's like, yeah, it kind of blew my mind. It's so big that you probably can't see the other side of this, like river way. Even like a section like this will be pretty big. But yeah, I forgot where I was. I think I was in Lane Lynn in the playthrough, and it was just like this one or this one. It was huge. It might have also been somewhere else, like this region perhaps, but... And all these blue marks are not all the water in these sections. I think there's more. I don't know if that's because of my mod or if it's just the way it always is, maybe, potentially. But yeah. Yeah, let's check out one of those desert regions for fun. I was thinking for the Traveling Nomad that it would be Alakir Desert and all the regions that surround it would be fair game. So it would only be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so regions, and we would just be traveling through these. Maybe we wouldn't include this one. This is kind of mountainous. I don't even know if that's really desert, but I think these are all mostly desert-ish. Let's see. Let's head out. Oh, is this meant to be an oasis? Does anyone know if that's the point of Bergama? It's kind of in the middle of the desert. Maybe I'm seeing some water sections. I kind of want to check that out. Maybe it was meant to be an oasis. That would make sense. Ultima 5 came with a manual and an in-world journal and a little talisman. I miss physical media. Yeah, me too, man. I love collecting physical copies of my games when I can. I will get a physical copy of Daggerfall someday, but I don't want to spend like 200 on it. Or 400, I don't know how much it is now, it might be more. Something really cool, whenever you get into the desert regions, I like to change my horse to the camel. Can I do that from these mod settings? I think I can. I think it's somewhere over here. Let's see. Horse variant. Yeah, I think one of these turns it into a camel, maybe? Is that what it is? Let's test it. By the way, if I ever miss any of your comments, guys, feel free just to repeat yourself. It's all good. You can just repeat yourself. I'll just, if I didn't respond, I missed it, that's all. I don't know if I'm even clicking on the right thing here. Let's see. One of these, though, turns into a camel. Let me catch up on chat, then I'll look again. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty cool. To solve one of the quests, you have to read the lore book included in the game box to solve some of the quests. Feels is what included stuff in a physical game box were called, like maps, for example. Interesting, okay. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. To solve the quest, you had to read the lore book. That's kind of sick. You know, that actually reminds me of when I was playing Realms of Arcania. I think it was the 3rd entry. The way that you had to save, and this was like a form of old school DRM, I guess. It would be like, in order to save, you had to go to page 48, line 3, word 2. And you had to type that in, and that was the only way you could save. That was crazy. That was the first time I saw something like that. Sometimes I really wish there was a mod for Daggerfall that would expand the simulation of life in a fantasy world. Yeah, I do think some people are working on that front. There's been a lot of mods that, of course, like not perfectly capture that yet, but are leaning towards that direction. I think the foraging mod is pretty good at that, especially if you combine it with climate and calories. The fishing framework mod is trying to build towards that, I think. So yeah, there's not too much of it yet, I don't think, but I think some modders are trying to move in that direction. At least some of them are. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, okay, it was just right here. I was thinking this was like the visual thing of it, but no. Yeah, so you can just switch to camel. It's pretty cool. When you go to the desert area, we'll definitely be doing this with the, you got a camel here. Looks pretty good, too. Perfect for desert traversal. Daggerfall always had those weird special mountains as well. Yeah, I guess the World of Daggerfall project really helps with building out the landscape, though, so it looks pretty great now. Sorry for mentioning the YouTuber here. I really enjoyed watching any Austin's experiments where he sort of lived the life of a peasant in Skyrim. Yeah, that sounds cool. I love the idea of doing a little life sim playthrough. Shpan is one of the least populous regions in Daggerfall. There's not even a capital city. Oh, that's interesting. Do you know if is that the only area without a capital city? Actually, I guess no, it can't be the only area, right? Because like Isle Belfiera, I don't think has one, and Bettany, I guess. Is this place completely unpopulated? Kind of interesting. That's pretty cool, though, yeah. It's pretty rare to not have a capital city, right? I feel like that might be the only few that don't. Yeah, probably. Fishing, cooking, and selling together would be so powerful. Yeah, I mean, with foraging mod, you can sell what you find, and you can cook what you find if you fish with it. I like the idea of it because I like mods that allow for a variety of ways to progress a character. What's cool about that is, like, let's say you start at level 1 and you got foraging mod, and you spend like the first 3 levels just foraging to build up your initial starter adventure gear. I think that could make for a really cool storytelling vehicle, you know, like a way to just sort of like, you haven't even really started on your adventure or your story yet. You spend the first like 3 levels foraging. Maybe you were like a lumberjack or some other tradesman, and then you, from there, either you build like an in-game reason to start traveling, like something happens, like a story reason, or you just decide, I want to travel, explore the world or something like that, and then things happen, and it goes from there. Oh wow, didn't know this was a feature of free reign? Yeah, I didn't know about it for a little bit as well, actually. Pretty cool. You get a nice camo for the desert here. I think the only thing I would change about Daggerfall graphics is I would have areas with less trees. I always think the deserts look a little too lush in some odd way. Yeah, they are surprisingly lush. You have a lot of these dead trees all around, but I actually think this region specifically, I'm kind of in the middle of some more watery areas, I guess. I wonder, you know, how much does the actual desert here have these sort of dead trees? But yeah, there is a decent amount. You also feel that could probably be modded? Yeah, I'm sure it could. Yeah, even here, there's still a decent amount of dead trees all around. Man, the desert's so cool in this game though, right? I also had the wild ingredients mod, which was cool. Kind of similar to foraging, where you could find ingredients out in the wild. I think I have to tweak that mod a little bit, though. They were spawning in weird places, like on roads and in my ship even and stuff. So in the middle of the ocean as well. I got to kind of fix that and look at that a little bit. But I thought that was a great mod also. It's uninhabited, yes, apart from a single dungeon that I'm pretty sure only exists as a quirk of map generation. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't show up for me yet, just because, yeah. I don't have it discovered, and nothing told me to go there yet, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, only a few islands share that trait of no capital. Well, that in the Orsinium area, if one doesn't count Orsinium the Stronghold. That's interesting, yeah. I actually have a mod for Orsinium, where is that again? Yeah, it's right here. To make all the NPCs orcs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty cool space. I like Orsinium. I know it's got a lot of lore relevance, story relevance, which I feel like I forgot most of. All the places you could get away with have nothing but the polygon world. You could have it in the desert. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is kind of surprising now that you mention it, how many of these like dead trees you find around here in the middle of this desert. Yeah. I never really thought about that, but it's actually a decent amount of trees around here. You have to walk to ruins of Kosh Hall, and ruins of Kosh Hall famously isn't even on what looks like landmass there. Oh yeah, it's really interesting. I kind of want to check that out real quick. That's interesting. Wonder if I can, it's kind of small. I probably could discover it. Oh, actually, just oh, I guess I could use the console command, right, to, trying to think about what it's called again. It's like reveal, map, reveal something. Reveal locations, maybe? Yeah, okay. Oh, it actually doesn't come up, interesting, but, if you activate the 640 by 400 in the effect settings, the aspect ratio stays the same, but everything will look pixelated and more consistent with the sprites. Interesting. That's the first thing I'm going to try after I take the stream down, actually. I have not experimented with too many of these Unity effects or anything like that, so I probably could experiment with this more and get like a look that I vibe with a little bit more, but yeah, I haven't done that before. Have you found Mount Tagonis before? Isn't Tagonis a region? I feel like I recognize the name. Is it like one iconic mountain there or something like that? That'd be sick if so. Oh yeah, okay. Mount Tagonis. Here's a question since I'm working on my own Daggerfall like. Do you think the continuous world is essential to the Daggerfall experience? Ooh, that's an interesting question. You know, it's hard for me to have a strict opinion on that because I'm not someone that grew up with the original Daggerfall. My first time playing this game was actually Unity, and I barely played without travel options. I think I played 10 hours without travel options. So for me, Daggerfall's always had this continuous world, and I never needed to fast travel to go anywhere when I was first playing. I still did, of course, but would I feel like now, would that kind of take away too much for me? I think, yeah. If I didn't have a continuous world now, I think for me personally, it would take away a lot from Daggerfall. But there are people that played Daggerfall for, 20 years and never had, like, the ability to travel in real time to their places. So that's interesting. For me personally, I do think I would need it, yeah, at this point. It's not a specific location, it's a weird glitched out part of the terrain. Oh, interesting. But actually, oh wait, never mind. It looks like now some are showing up here. Oh, that's so weird. When I click into it, I don't see it, but... Oh man, I think you're right. I think it is like a glitched out because it looks like there should be 4 dungeons here, but if you actually click on the region, you don't see them. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, there's a near max value mountain there in the base game NDFU. Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you know about where off the top of your head? I guess that's kind of a hard question. I didn't realize that there would be specific landmarks like that sometimes, but it does make sense that there should be some. That is really cool, though, that there's actually like a specific named mountain in this region. That's just unique. It won't affect the stream, I think. Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. That's cool. I don't want to take the risk midstream, but yeah, I'll give it a try. I wonder if it's near the capital. It would be cool if you could see it from the capital. That'd be sick. Let's see. Located on the second map tile to the southwest of the Silverbird pub in this region. It's more of a weird bit of map gen that people found. Yeah, that's cool. Southwest of Silverbird. I could probably just fast fly over there if I didn't have Iliac Puddle No More installed right now. I would just fast fly, but whenever I fast fly like that, good chance I'll crash the game doing that. Just because like I'm moving at like fast flying 500 speed or something like that, and then all of the underwater stuff has to load. I guess that's what does it. But yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure. I guess I wouldn't be able to click on this from here, right? No, it'll just bring me to the region and not show me it. I could try fast flying. I might crash the game. Not too big a deal if I did anyway, but... Or I could take it a little bit slower in my fast flying, then maybe I won't crash it. I'm back to my navigating ways. It's like southeast we gotta go a little bit. Actually, maybe if I go underwater, it'll help, actually. This might help a little bit. Yeah, I think it will help. We might find one of those Dungeons of Daggerfall dungeons I was mentioning as well. It's gonna be super laggy to watch this on your end, though. Apologize for that. If you look at all open world games where you can explore the entire world without loading screens, players almost always use teleports that function just like loading screens. Yeah, that's somewhat true, I think, for sure. People do it in Skyrim, fast travel. Yeah, I guess it depends on how often you would have to do it and what would make you do it. Like, if I have the option to real-time travel to a dungeon, I like doing that. But if the only way to get there would be to always have to fast travel, I think that would somewhat, bring down the vibe for me. But yeah, I mean, people played Daggerfall for 20 years having to fast travel, so I think for more old school fans, I'm kind of a newer player to the game. They, let me toggle God mode so I don't drown. I think for a lot of them, they wouldn't need like a continuous open world at all. Oh man, I'm lagging like crazy. Let's see where we are on the map. This is so laggy. And we barely even moved. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this at some other time. That's interesting though. I want to check this out. Let's see. I still don't understand the hype surrounding Starfield, where players are demanding space travel and planet landings without a single loading screen. I actually never played Starfield yet. I do like sci-fi also. Oh, hey, speaking of one of the dungeons, I forgot. There's one right here. There's a couple that's actually littered around the... Yeah, you guys can see how cool this is. Oh, cool. Let me sleep. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's turn fast flying off for a bit here. Yeah, these areas are really, really cool. I love how SquidKamer did this. For a couple reasons, actually. And one of the reasons is if he just planted these dungeons in the middle of the ocean, they'd be like impossible to find, right? But these gigantic islands are at least somewhat possible to find. And they just look so good. It fits really well for like a Pirate Cove type entrance like this. Like some structure built into the mountain here. You're surrounded by water. It's just really sick. I thought this was so creative, actually. I think the very fact that there's a vast open world sparks players' imaginations, even if they don't actually plan to explore it. Yeah, that's a good thought. That's well said. You can visit anywhere in the map currently, it's just you have to travel by map, but I'm old and used to the original Daggerfall where you only traveled to Gothaway on your own steam. Yeah, I think for older Daggerfall fans, that's... Yeah, I don't think they would care too much about it being continuous or not, right? And I think if I didn't have the mod support, I also wouldn't care very much, to be honest. And it's not like there was nowhere to travel. You still had options of traveling to places in the original Daggerfall, right? It wasn't just fast traveling. It's just that you usually had to fast travel. Oh, speaking of wolves, someone mentioned wolves earlier. Yeah, here's like a little snow wolf. Let's just check out this dungeon for a little bit. We're not actually gonna fight through it or anything. I got God mode on right now. Wait, I just realized what one might do to see ruins of Kosh Hall. Select the region on the Roguelike mod. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant thinking, actually. That's exactly what we could do. Let's just check out this mod here first. Let me do a low speed, like 5. Can I do 5? Yeah, I can. Okay. I don't think this is one of the pirate coves. No, I don't think so. They have really cool sections, though. This one's interesting. It's only glitching out like this. This is not the mod having any bugs or anything. It's only doing this because I use the fast flying option to move around. I just wanted to see which kind of layout this was, and this is not the pirate cove, I don't think. Though, maybe it is. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Okay, yeah, look. Inside the dungeon itself, you got these ships. Like, how sick is this? Like, these docked ships, I should say. And you got all these humanoid pirate enemies that are here. I mean, this is just so awesome. I unfortunately did not run into one of these in the actual playthrough, but everything from, like, these hallways having the stone corridors here, like, to the deep waters, like, this is just so, so cool. Of course, you got bridges. I love this. And it's like they have a whole gate there. So cool. Selecting the region on the roguelike mode. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's what we'll try. BG has a bad habit of putting fast travel points in front of a door, so you have to load screen twice. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I do ever find the modern iteration very cool. You could walk anywhere, but it was real time. It took some time, and it was very easy to completely miss where you were trying to walk to due to the low draw distance. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. Pirate Cove dungeons. This is unique to Dungeons of Daggerfall. But yeah, that was a good point. We could go to the roguelike mode here, go to region. We can look for... what was that region called again? Let me check. Oh, I can't check the world map here. But I can check the chat. We mentioned it, right? Somewhere. Wow, this cave is great. Yeah, it really is, right? It looks awesome. Have you seen the Abyssal Dungeon mod? I have seen the Abyssal Dungeon mod. I was actually just... I just forgot before I started the stream today, but I meant to update this mod because Jet is the mod author of both the Abyssal Dungeon mod. He's also the mod author of... oh yeah, Sparrowbatics. Thanks. Yeah, that's what it is. Thanks, Mysterious Fox. He's also the mod author of the roguelike mode, so I meant to update that because then you can use the Abyssal Dungeons in the roguelike mode, which is really cool. And I was going to try that today, but I just forgot to update it. But for the next stream, we'll definitely do that. But I haven't actually explored any of the Abyssal Dungeons yet, so I haven't actually tried them. I know they're really kind of like underwater focused and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. It's been cool. Have a good night. Hey, take care. Thanks. Appreciate you hanging out. Yes, it's the name of the region. Let's see. It should be listed then. Well, yeah, the Abyssal Dungeon, I might actually just intentionally go to it. Oh, it is here. That's so cool. All right, we'll do any dungeon side, anything else, and we'll just see what it gives us. Interesting. This will be cool. But yeah, the Abyssal Dungeon, I think we'll just explore it for fun in a... Oh, I got fast flying on. Whoops, let me turn that off. Well, actually, maybe we'll just keep it on and explore the dungeon, see if it looks like a normal dungeon. Yeah, I think it looks like a normal dungeon. Actually, let me tell you to exit, actually, and then we'll go outside. And let me turn fast flying off, and we'll see. Now we'll be in the area. And we can see where the dungeon's actually located. Oh, this is cool. That was a good idea. Hey, it looks like actual normal land here. But I'm placed, yeah, somewhere weird. Interesting. Only notable thing about it is it's weird, glitched out location. Yeah, if I saw this actually myself, like if I came across this naturally in a playthrough, I would assume this was from Dungeons of Daggerfall. That's what I would have assumed, actually. I would not have thought that the actual game spawned this dungeon here. I know that island is a Dwemer dungeon close to it. Oh yeah? Yeah, I think the Dwemer dungeons are only in Hammerfell, I think. Oh, good call. We're actually really close to one. But yeah, I think I might wrap the stream up here. This was fun. Always enjoy hanging out with you guys, chilling, talking about Daggerfall and other games and stuff. This was just a random stream. This won't be like a regular time slot for me. I just had some time today. But yeah, I think the next stream then will probably be on Saturday and on Sunday. I'm going to try and do Saturdays and Sundays, and we're probably going to do 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern time. If that doesn't work for a lot of you guys, then I might try and change the time. We'll see. That time would be best for me, but I could be flexible with other times if other times are better for you guys. But yeah, and I think we'll actually do the player home decoration this time. And some of the Abyssal Dungeon roguelike mode. I think it'll be fun. And then we'll take a look at the end of the voting results. And then we could maybe brainstorm together, if you guys are down, for the characters' restrictions, playthrough goals, all that cool stuff that I could do for the permadeath playthrough, the next one. So like, for example, the Druid one, I kind of want to do like a restriction on destruction magic to only be usable outdoors for Druid. But like restoration magic, I'd be able to use indoors and during dungeons, but not destruction. And then I might make the lightning spell like really powerful to reflect that I can only use it outdoors, stuff like that. But yeah, next stream will probably be this weekend. Thanks again for hanging out. Always appreciate it. And take care, guys. See you.